Hi, hello, and good evening. It is November 7th, and we are coming to you 7 minutes late, and it's all my fault. We have 2 episodes of Survivor 43 to get into. We're at the merge. All right, lots of things to talk about. Idols just flying all over the place, advantages all over, just scattered about, and we're going to get into it all. So let's do it. This is Survivor 43, and this is Stretch Chat. I am Kyle Petty, and as always, I am joined by my festy besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. And yeah, this is Strat Chat. You can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. Matt, this is a real disgrace. First of all, hi, hello, and welcome. Hope you have a good week. We have not caught up this week. We've been a little out of touch. But you don't know if you've ever seen the countdown.
You've never made it on time.
Yeah, either that means you're always severely late or we were severely late tonight. Either way, there's a lot of wrongs that need to be righted. Right?
I will say that you did make that countdown, right, Kyle? Kyle created
she's
the
homemade.
countdown.
She's homemade. Yeah.
So so that is kind of nice. You know, Matt said he likes it. He likes your work.
Oh, right. Oh, you're gonna focus on the positive. Yeah, because he did say it was a bop. I ignored that completely and went straight to Stas. But you know, that's me. So we apologize. Thank you for enjoying. Hopefully you'll join us punctually next time. And hopefully we will too. But any Hoosers, we have 2 episodes of Survivor to talk about. And I'm sure, you know, the first one being much to Matt's chagrin. And I can't wait to talk more about it. But yeah, so the episode kicked off with the merge, right? Day 12, we're seeing a merge. Feels lame coming from Australia, right? We don't do this there. All right. We don't merge for some time. All right.
I was gonna say, is this even for us? Is this earlier than usual?
Feels very early.
You know, I don't know that we noted the actual day when we did 41. It definitely is faster than like previous. They really wanted to say survivors, and I got ahead of myself. Previous survivors. Now, but since the 41 shift, I don't know. Matt says this is a hella early merge. Is this even early for the 41 heads? You know, what is this in comparison to, you know, once we started this accelerated game? I trust Matt will get back to us. He knows these things. So what did I write here? Oh, there's a lot of things going on, right? A lot of things going on at the top of this episode in terms of what advantages people have and disadvantages, you know, people have. What do we say here? Matt says, I think 41 and 42 merged on day 12 or 13, but we've never merged with only 5 people gone.
Okay.
Yeah. These are numbers I never count, not even in my own world. Like in Big Brother, you know, I don't count these things either. I'm always confused. So we know at the top of this thing that Noelle can steal a vote, right? She's got that thing going on. Carla has her little her immunity idol bracelet. Gabler has the right to use his idol one more time, despite Ellie and Janine's attempts to convince him otherwise. Janine also has an idol bracelet. Coming with that, you know, I understand she had no vote in this first one. She had no vote.
That's right.
Question mark. That's what I wrote, but I don't remember the reasons for this.
Was
it something with the risk your vote thing?
Right. I think she was one of the ones that went on that last trip to the island, and they all risked it. Yeah.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely
Because
right.
Jesse didn't have a vote either.
Yeah, that's my last. And I also didn't remember why that happened. And
Mm.
both questions answered. All right. What is that? 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, knock them out. Knock them out. You know, we don't do birds here, not in this house. So Ellie knows that Cody has an idol because of the story that Noelle told about the bracelets around the hat and the palm fronds.
Which I think we talked about that at one point of like people are gonna start to catch on that there are other idols if they know about the beads.
Yes. And I gotta say, this really makes me like this whole bead twist even more than the broccoli twist that we saw.
Stupid broccoli twist. Oh my God.
I also like that we're calling it the broccoli twist, you know, because like that was only one of the lines. I mean, that wasn't really...
I always default to butterflies. You always go for the broccoli.
I never remember the butterflies. We could call it the butterfly twist if we wanted to, or just use both interchangeably. John,
do we know what the other one was?
I was just saying, like, yeah, you could do the other one.
wasn't it something about like soccer or something? Like, I just love the grace of the game of soccer. It was like something weird like that.
I'm sure Matt will remember. Here it is. I'm as confused as a goat on AstroTurf.
Goat on AstroTurf, that's what it was.
Yeah, the goat twist. Or the
goat twist.
Or the whatever. Astro,
baby.
Remind me, it has been a long week.
Oh, soccer was Mike's in 42. I was like, I know there's something with soccer.
Oh, I don't remember any of the 42 ones.
Yeah, I honestly I don't remember either. Honestly, you could have told me that broccoli came from 42 and I would have believed you.
I just remember Xander talking about butterflies and dead relatives like 700 times that season.
Dead
I was like,
relatives.
shut up.
Yeah, that was the other one. Dead relatives. Oh, here we are. Marianne was a bunny rabbit in the mailbox. Andrea's was potatoes.
No memory of this.
None of that rings a single bell. Jingle jangle, not here. So basically this merge wasn't really real, right? It's like kind of like a half merge. It's
mergatory,
as they like to call it. Yeah. Big enough to make the episode name, huh? So there's that. So we had 2 teams of 6 racing. All right. They had to move some debris to reveal a sled, right? They collect these large wooden crates, 6 to be exact. They had to drag them along to make a staircase to retrieve a ring of keys. And they go up a ramp with this cargo net and then complete a puzzle. Okay, so lots of fun to be had. So the team who wins is safe, and they get a merged meal, and they receive their new buff. And that's it. Everyone votes, but only 6 are safe, or really 6 are up for the elimination here. What did you think of this? Do we like this little twist? Was this fun for you?
And Noelle sat out, right? Noelle was the one that had to sit
Noelle
out.
sat out. Yeah, that was the next.
She got the gray rock.
Uneven amount of people.
I'm sorry.
I know. You rushed it. It's all right. So you put us there. So we had an uneven amount of people. Whoever draws the gray rock had to pick a team that they thought would best the other.
Oh, I would hate to be this person.
Yes, and if they chose the correct team, they would also receive the immunity. And if not, well, they would not be immune. So, do we like this twist? Do we think it was a good time? What was it for you?
Yeah, I thought this was fun.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was fun.
You liked it.
It was interesting to see how the teams came out too, like totally random, but they did seem pretty even, which they talked about, like, you know, before the competition. Like, I thought this was a good breakdown. But I would not want to be the one in Noelle's position trying to decide. Yeah, absolutely not.
No. Did you like this twist, Gina?
Oh, I did. Absolutely. I just couldn't get past the fact that I would hate to be the person who had to choose what team I was going to be on.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I enjoyed watching it. Couldn't be me.
Yeah. I actually don't like this twist. I don't
really.
I think it's ridiculous that 6 people are immune. That is insane. You just met these people. Like, there should be no immune anything. Just like potentially 7. You know, I think that's ridiculous. Everyone should be up for play. Up for grabs. Everyone should be in play. It's a mess tonight. Merge. So I don't know. I think 6 or 7 is too many. to be safe right out of the gate.
It is a lot.
Matt has weighed in, and he says it was a huge step up from the broken hourglass twist, which I do agree with. The hourglass twist is really not one that we ever need to see again. But he says, I'm still not sold on the whole mergatory thing. Stop making a thing of it and just let them merge and play. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Oh, for listen, don't be sassy. Don't be sassy. I'm trying to not say the same thing over and over and over again. I'm trying to find fun ways, make it intriguing for our friends. So blue team, all right, was Gabler, Jesse, Ryan, Janine, Dwight, and Carla. While red was Cassidy, Cody, Ellie, Sammy, Owen, and James. Now, of particular note was Janine rushing over to red, saying, "We got this, we got this, we got this." And then like, baby, you're blue. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Hey guys, we got this."
I'm so glad you remembered that because I forgot, but I
totally forgot about that
moment.
Yeah. Well, it's only because of the rewatch, you know. Yeah. Oh, and with this, you know, so Noelle selected blue as her team of choice to win the comp. Okay, she selected blue. Now when I made these notes, it was a skim through, right? So I was clicking through a lot. Now I said Carla cut herself. There was some blood. Anybody remember anything about that? Or what happened there?
I remember it happening. I don't remember how it happened though.
Wow.
One of the crates like fell and like kind of like smashed her hand. And I think her finger got busted up pretty bad.
Okay.
But she had a lot of blood on her hand.
Well, so I looked away for a second. I looked back and she was covered in blood. I was like, what the hell just happened?
And no one seemed to care. She's standing there just bleeding out, the blood running down, and just like, well, so and I'm like, what's happening here? There's no medics. Nobody seemed to care. No one cared. So the puzzle at the end, earning your spot at every stage. Cute.
I don't know what the red team was doing. They were.
I was like, what
puzzle.
on earth? Like, were they trying to? Whatever the last word
lead.
was, I was like, what were you trying to spell in that last word that you thought you had enough room for?
Well, Ellie, I think was really the one, the anchor, and that dragged the red team down because she was trying to fit pieces in where like it didn't make any sense at all.
But even like from what I could tell, it looked like they were trying to spell the word advantage at the end, but they only had space for like 2 more letters. And I was like, where do you think advantage is fitting in this puzzle right now?
Like, what do you think you're doing here? Can I just take off the rails for a quick second?
Always.
Sure.
So when you said that Ellie was the anchor, it took me back. You know, I used to work for Washington Mutual, and I had a regional manager who, if you were not doing well in sales and your branch was the one dragging the region down, like she would send you these emails like, stop it, don't be an anchor banker.
Anchor banker.
And I just thought it was just like the funniest thing. And I was like, that's so inventive. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be highlighted as like the region's like anchor banker. Like I got to get my sales up, you know? So
that's amazing.
Ellie is like the anchor. It just took me right back. Linda Chai. Shout out to Linda Chai, wherever she is. I'm sure wherever she is, she's propelling the boat forward. Yeah. How's that for both puns? Nailed that one. But with that, Ellie, you know, really was going through it. You know, really felt pretty guilty because she did volunteer to do the puzzle. And she flarned it. She flarned it. And honestly, listen, I know Matt really likes Ellie. Anytime Ellie was in a hard spot, I was really gleeful. And the same goes for Janine, though. Ellie's not alone in this. You know, these two, they just think they're so damn smart. They think they're so smart. And you know, I love it when people are knocked out a couple of pegs. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That says, I don't know what I hate more, anchor banker or bestie. Listen, they're both great in their own way.
No, bestie is terrible. What do you mean?
Bestie is everything. At least, I mean, I feel like we made it something. Oh, I love bestie. I'll never stop now. I'll never stop.
Well, I also love that. I also love that you say "Festy Bestie," and I use "Ride or Dies" from the challenge.
Yeah, I think it's really cute. That's actually where my head was. I just love how like on the same page we are sometimes. Because as I'm sitting here looking at my notes, I was like, I don't know what else I would say. I was like, I probably should come up with something else. I was like, well, it's never going to go away because I'm not that clever. and then you said that and said, like, what else would I say? That's my intro. That's the intro. I don't
This
know.
is why I don't do intros. I'd be like, here's my friends.
Right, but see, here's where you're wrong on that one, though, babe. Because when you have a good intro, you'll be so excited to use it, and then you realize, oh shit, I have to keep up with this now. Like, because you'll be so excited, and you're like, oh, this is what I'm gonna say, and then like it becomes your thing, and then like once it's over, like Festy Bestie really should be dead. But I got nothing else. I'm here with my soul survivors, my amazing racers. Like, sorry, it's Festy Besties till the wheels fall off. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I'd be interested to get into this more, Matt. He says I could write a thesis on how Ellie's fatal flaw in her game was getting rid of Mariah. Sunk her game. She could have won it all. Really? We're going back to Mariah, and you think she could have been that influential? Yeah, I'd love a deep dive of that. Maybe the next Memorial Day. What else? Oh, maybe Veterans Day. I got nothing else to do. We'll see. We'll talk about it offline. Next note.
Wasn't there something that happened? Wasn't like Janine and Ellie and Mariah at one point talking about like doing like a girls thing and like sticking together and having like 3 votes? I could be totally wrong, but I think I remember something like this.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Right,
Sounds
and then Ellie and
reasonable.
Janine just like totally flipping on it and sending her out. And then like Ellie and Janine spent the next like 4 or 5 weeks, whatever, like obsessing over Gabler and does he know if his idol's good or not? And maybe that's true. Maybe there's some real credence to that. That like if you had kept Mariah around, that's another number for you, you know. And even like what Matt says here, you know, like should have let Gabler self-destruct like he wanted to at the first vote.
Yeah,
you know, so maybe there's something to that. Like setting Mariah out maybe was not the way to go for Ellie.
I don't remember things like this.
So,
you know,
yeah, Matt says episode 1.
Oh. Well, I know episode 1. That's why I thought it was like
right.
non-eventful. Yeah, I don't retain episode 1. I feel like that was forever ago, non-consequential. but that's what's interesting too, though, about this game, right? Because it's so accelerated. You can't now discount what happened on day 1 because we're really only at day 12. Maybe 13, maybe at this point, depending on when they go to sleep after these challenges and things. So that's kind of interesting because you would think that once you get to merge, that something that happened at day 1 wouldn't matter anymore. That's not exactly the case in this.
Interesting.
Just number wise, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of changes how I would watch this show, like going forward. Because, like an Australian Survivor, like I mean, this would be so far down the road that, like, you know, like I wouldn't even care to retain this stuff, and I'm kind of watching with that mindset. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you for that. My next note was just, you know, can James clear his throat? I mean, is it just me?
No,
Like,
it's not just you.
It's like, just get that out of there. Like, what is that? Like, I can't stand listening to him speak. And then, like, I don't know. I have other. Shut up. So Ellie is. Yeah, it's too much. It's really, really too much. Ellie is convinced that she can get a Coco to go home, but still secretly target Cody. You know, that was her main goal. I think she was trying to put eyes on a Cassidy kind of a thing, Cassidy or James or something like that. My next thing was this: Ellie just thinks she's so smart with a bunch of O's. So Gabler was the one at the merge meal now that started to point the finger at Ellie, you know, much of the chagrin of a Miss Janine. Now,
he came right out the gate too.
He sure did. He sure did. Now they want to say, oh, what happened to Baka Strong? What happened to Baka Strong? How dare you, Janine? Like, right? What you mean Baka Strong? Y'all rummage through his bag, trying to tell him his idol is no good so you can get him out, and now you want to be surprised that he doesn't want to work with her? Like,
and even there was a moment in here too where like I was because everybody was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he would say that about Ellie," and I was like, I genuinely can't remember if Ellie did it, but I do remember Janine did it. Like, because in my head it was Janine's plan. Like, was like, I can't remember who she did it with, but
yeah.
Oh, yeah, the two of them absolutely, yeah, they were all over it.
Because there was a lot of
And
discourse about her being like, I never did anything like that, and I was like, am I remembering it wrong? Like, did she not? Like, I know it was Janine.
But
No,
she
they
was
definitely did it.
absolutely part of that
Yeah.
plan. Like, that was
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Were you surprised though that he said something in front of Janine there? Like would you have thought maybe he'd wait till the meal's over? Now let's get back to camp and we can I can try to spread this here, because
If it was any other player, yes, I would expect that. But for Gabler, no, I would not expect that. I would expect him to do exactly what he did.
And I thought it was like really ballsy and totally appropriate. This was where I started to feel like the narrative on Gabler changed, at least for me. This was me starting to come around to Gabler. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. I have not been on the Twitter. I don't know. I'm kind of coming around to Mr. Gabler. What do we think? Do we like him? Do we like him at this stage? What do we think?
I maintain how I've always felt. I don't know. I think he's messy.
Oh, he's definitely messy.
Oh, he's.
But I go back. Yeah, I go back and forth on him though. I feel like sometimes I'm just like, all right, enough of this guy, and then other times I'm like, okay, he makes things interesting. So
he does make things interesting,
yeah.
and I just thought that this was a really ballsy move by him, and a very, very confident move. And even at this stage, not knowing how it was going to turn out, I was just impressed that I'm impressed that he went that route.
Yeah.
Wow. Matt says, I look at Gabler more of a meme character than a winner contender. That is very rude. We're going to see what goes on with Mr. Gabler, okay? Because y'all now working against him is now, yeah. You see, now y'all talking about him like this is going to make me ride harder for him. I'm going to end up riding harder for Gabler than I even want to, okay? Because I'm not really that passionate about it, which I'm going to push me on that other side. What is this here? Oh, yeah. We said this. Janine's sitting right there. Blah, blah, blah. Let the Gabler double down. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I said that. Wow. I kept up. Everything checks out. Everything checks out. So,
yep, I said that.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I said it. Great. Ellie goes to Sammy and Owen to vent and try to get a target on James. Fine. Okay. I said, I'm so happy there's so many things are going wrong for Janine. Sammy urging Gabler to keep it cool. All right, as he doesn't want Janine to use her idol on Ellie. Yeah. Sure. Jesse, Cody, and Dwight agree Ellie should go. Ryan walks up. They tell him, and he agrees. Great.
Yeah.
Janine says Baca going James. Gabler says no way. Still going Ellie.
Yep.
And Janine did tell Ellie. Now, I had forgotten this. Janine told Ellie that she would play her idol for her if need be.
That's right. That's right.
Did she? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said if I
either. Yeah.
She was like, if I get an inclination that you might be in danger, I will play my idol for you.
Hmm.
Oh, I missed this. Kyle, you're going to hate me when we get to the next episode. Yeah, is this why you haven't been talking to me? I noticed today. I was like, he's been real quiet. And what else did you say here? Gina's been through so much and deserves slander. What has she been through? Just because she busted up her chin? Please.
I will say that,
so smart.
I picked, so when at the start of the season, I picked Ryan and Janine as my winner picks. Because I was like, I feel like I want to just throw one out there. Like Ryan, I thought like it could be like a good contender. Janine was more of like the outside pick, and she's just been pissing me off this whole season.
I don't even remember who I picked. I think it was Cody
and Noelle. I thought, right?
No, I had Noelle.
Oh, did we do two?
Yeah, you did. Oh God, what's her name?
I know I did Cody.
You did Cody, and you did, what is her name?
Is she gone?
Mm-mm.
I didn't say Carla. Did I say Cassidy? No.
I feel like you guys both picked Noelle.
No, we definitely we had 3 different for the female winner because I remember you and I both had Ryan. Who did you have?
I don't know. It's
Dang
terrible that I don't even remember. I guess I wasn't that passionate about it.
Was it Carla? No.
I wouldn't have picked a Carla because Carla was giving me Jeannie vibes. And like, and she's not, which is too bad.
I feel like you did like a wild card pick like that though.
You think? Yeah, we'll have to go back. We'll have to go back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know because the only other 3 women that have left, it's Mariah, Justine, Nneka, Lindsay, Ellie, Cassidy. Like, if you didn't pick any of those, I feel like it had to have been Noelle.
I know it wasn't Noelle.
All right, I don't know. I think you might be wrong.
Listen. What's really embarrassing is that I don't know myself.
I really think you picked I forgot her name again.
Carla?
Yes, Carla.
I can't say no.
I really think you did.
I truly don't know. But I know I didn't pick Ellie, and that's who we lost at the end of this episode. With her supposed smart-ass self. Janine did not use the idol. There was also a comment that Ellie made on her way out saying, you see what happens when this is what happens when you trust Gabler. And Gabler retorts, Gabler says, what did he say? Right back at you. And it's like,
the same could be said for you, or like whatever it was.
Yeah, like what does that mean? That doesn't make any sense. Right.
I also feel I feel like that's also I also feel like that's like the line that you give to try to like blow up somebody's game on the way out, but I feel like everybody will know that it's bullshit because like Ellie's the one, even aside from all the Gabler stuff, Ellie's the one that really dug her own grave here by trying to run around. Vessi and Baca were all gonna or whatever she said. I forget. She was telling Coco that they were gonna do Cody, right? Running around telling them they're going to do Cody, but running around telling everybody else she's going to split the votes on James and Cassidy. And it's like, you're doing way too much right now. Everybody's sharing their information. And so like, it had nothing to do with you not trusting Gabler or whatever. Like, this was your own doing. It's like, everybody found out. Coco found out that you were lying to them about saying Cody's name, and they knew you wanted to split the votes on James and Cassidy, and that's why you got voted out. It had nothing to do with what Gabler said.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, she just thinks she's so smart. Matt says, Gabler's iconic and well thought out confessional. I threw out Ellie's name because I want Ellie gone.
Groundbreaking.
Honestly, I stand Gabler. Oh my god,
Gabler.
Don't mind me, Gabler. Any Hoosers. So Janine's scrambling at the top of episode 7 now. Scrambling to try and be like, oh, I'm good with the fact that y'all got rid of my best friend. Don't worry, I think it's good for my game. I agree. This was best. I thought this was sloppy as hell. Okay? Like, this was ridiculous. Even if you said it, I feel like it would have been more impactful if it was like the next day.
Right.
As if you had this like
time to think about it and
you're being, you were really contemplating things and like, I wanted to use the past tense of that, or like the active one, completive. Do you know what I'm trying to do?
I know what you're trying to say.
Right. What is it?
Contemplative.
Yeah, I'm much better via text. Because I do know what I'm trying to do. So anyway,
it's just more fun to not correct and just let you try to figure it out.
That's fun for who?
For me. Fun for me.
It's cruel. It's sick. It's really sick. But yeah, if you came into the next morning kind of in that regard, I think it could have been more impactful. This felt like a desperate scramble. It didn't feel very genuine. I thought this was a bit of a mess. Matt says, but did you see how badass she looked when she said, then let me be an asset? I guess. I know you really want us to stand Janine here. I'm not sure that we do. What's the temperature with you guys and Janine? What do you think? Are you rooting for her demise, or are you in her corner?
I'm definitely not rooting for her demise because she still is my winner pick for the women. So like, I do want her to go far, but like, we'll talk about it more when we get to the end of this episode. But I don't know how long she's gonna stick around because she did have something in her favor, but that walked out with episode 7. Episode 7's tribal victims. So.
I can't wait to go back to that. The look on your face. Well, I'm not ready for her to. So stupid. Okay, fine. No, she's an interesting character to watch. Absolutely, yeah. But I wanted to go down. What do you think, Jeans?
I don't. It's like I don't feel particularly strongly enough about her to want her not to win. I'm just like I don't care enough about her for like either way. Like I don't think she's great at the game, but I'm not sitting here being like, you suck, please go home,
Yeah. I just like anytime somebody thinks they're here, I just like to see them go. Like it's just my favorite. So like she's been
like
thinking
she is
so
she
smart.
is the epitome.
I just like to see people get knocked down. That's all.
She is the epitome of those people that you see in the DR. Like Big Brother is the easiest game I've ever played in my life. Why do people think this is so hard and then they get blindsided and evicted that week?
Yeah. That's where I'm putting her. Unfortunately, though, her demise is happening too slow, and we're not going to get that satisfaction. So it's almost like you almost have to switch gears with Miss Janine at some point now, because obviously it's not a spoiler. We don't have to really go in order. We know she didn't go home in this episode. So now at this point, it's like you're not really going to get that moment that I so crave. So like, I don't know. I can see flipping the script on her. You
could still get like a really good blindside or something though, where she thinks she's like solid, like just golden, has no idea it's coming, and then she's gone.
Okay, well, do I have permission to go out of order? We can go out of order, right? Sure. We're just talking, right? So, like,
if you're watching this, you've watched that.
Exactly. So, like, let's just go for it, right? We'll still go through the rest of the episode, of course. But, like, since we're on, like, this whole Janine thing and her getting fucked over in Florence, like, so what's good with her idol? Do you think she got it back from Dwight or did she not? Now, I rewatched this so many times. I kept rewinding to see what her hand was doing because there were a lot of moments where it was going back. But is that idol still on Dwight's person? And is she flarned again?
I don't think she got it back. That's my feeling.
Either.
I don't think she did either. The way she looked as he left, it didn't look like she had it.
Yeah. Because unless it was like partially editing too, like multiple times it looked like she was trying to put her hand back. Yes. So like unless they just happen to show that same moment of her putting her hand back again and like editing somehow, it looked like she was trying multiple times to get it. Oh wait, Matt has info for us. She did not.
I saw some headlines about this. So yeah. So Matt says she did not. Jeff Probst confirmed in an interview that you can't pass an idol to someone when the votes are red. Her idol is gone.
Wow.
And then he adds, and she's fucked.
Yeah.
It's just I foresaw this happening when you heard her earlier in the episode be like, I just feel like my idol is safer this week. I was like, oh no. No.
Anytime we hear that someone thinks something is good, it is foreshadowing. We know now. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I saw some headlines about Jeff saying this about the idol passing rules and things like that. Yeah, that sucks.
It does really suck. It really it really sucks for her. And I feel like I do want to say, did we already say who was gone? I don't want to jump ahead if we haven't said who left.
Well,
yet.
we kind of did because we said that Dwight had it, and
it's
he
Dwight.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Dwight, right?
Yeah.
But like what I think really sucks for Janine here is that from everything that we saw, there were 3 names that had been thrown out, right, over the course of this whole thing. Or actually, 3. So it was James, Ryan, and then it was also Cody. Even though Cody was more of like a decoy, but James, Cassidy, Cody. Dwight's name did not come out of anyone's mouth. So like, well, actually, except for Cody and Jesse, right? They had been talking about it, but we didn't see any like large scale like conversations among the tribe about Dwight. You know what I mean? Like it was just kind of like a convo that like Cody and Jesse had. We didn't know if it had any real steam. So like, it's just funny to me that like 3 names that were seriously thrown out there, Janine went with one of the people that wasn't thrown out there, and yet that's the person that went home and took her idol with him. It's just like, how could you possibly like predict that? It's
I also like. No, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't know that I fully understood why this like idol advantage musical chairs was happening.
It was
happening.
James.
Yeah, and good. That's actually perfect because that's what my next comment was. So this whole thing happened because they believed that James now had this knowledge of power.
But
so if you're moving everything around, if he asks you, Gina, do you have an idol? Well, no, because I gave it to John. So the answer is no. So now your idol is safe, and you can trust that you'll get it back.
But do they have reason? Do they have reason to believe that he knew about everybody else's idols?
I guess yes and no, just from like the comparison of notes.
Just because like the way that everybody was like, I have to get rid of mine. I'm like, why are you so sure that he is aware where everything is in play right now?
Yeah, that's interesting.
It was very confusing to me to go through this like elaborate ruse where it's like, I'm not certain that he knows where all of these things are.
But it's like, but that's my next point though. Like, I think that's what makes it unfair that Janine could not now get her idol back, because she never would have done this if you didn't put this stupid ass advantage in here that made her now get nervous about it. Like, this is where like that's not fair to Janine. Okay. I kind of think it's funny that she lost it, but I as far as but it's only because of her. But in terms of the game itself, like I don't think that's fair. Like these people should be able to get it back because like they never would have been doing any of this if you didn't put this dumbass advantage in here.
Right. I think this whole swapping and like musical chairs of advantages is just like a hopeful like extra layer of security, because people talk, information gets exchanged. Like even look at Owen, right at the beginning of the merge, was able to list out all these different advantages and idols that people
that's
had.
why I was like, if Owen was the person we were talking about, yeah, I totally understand this play, but I don't know why we were so certain about James.
Well, but I think that's just an example of it. Is Owen's the confessional that we happen to see? I'm sure he wasn't the only person that had, information, but they're not just gonna go through the whole cast and see who do you know has an idol? Who do you know? I mean,
thus far he seems to be the only one that really knows everything.
But I mean, he was the only one that we've heard actually say it. But I mean, these people are always.
I'm talking like season, like across the board of like the whole season, though. Like I feel like Owen's the only one that we really are talking about this stuff.
Well, I mean, even Cody in this episode said that he knows that James knows that he has an idol. Cody was like, I know that James has the information that I have an idol. He said that in episode 7. So like, that's the thing. Like all these people are talking, all this information is getting out there and spreading. Even if you're not sure if somebody knows you have an idol or an advantage, it might just make sense to try to give it to somebody else that doesn't have an idol or advantage, because, it's just trying to throw people off. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know how Owen knows that all these people have these things. We haven't seen Owen gather all that information. We just happen to see his confessional.
We've seen people tell him.
Yeah, I gotta say, listen, if I had an idol, I had anything, if I told one person, I would assume everyone knows, especially if you're talking about having the right to take it.
Well, that's why I wouldn't tell anybody.
Right, but like, but depending on how you found it, depending on whether or not people now know. And like this bead thing is a problem. So like
Yeah.
even if people don't know that like Carla necessarily has an idol, if it gets around, like Coco now finds out how that other bracelet was formed, they're like, oh wait, we gave beads to Carla. Like there's nothing private about this idol situation.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's already out there. I love that.
Yeah.
I like the swapping. I don't know. I like the swapping. I think I like some of the fun around it. I just think when you actually get to the execution of knowledge is power, it's very dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like what was the
it's
point?
weird.
So the knowledge is power advantage. Is this the first time we've seen it just dropped in the well so that like group of people are going to go and find it together? That's because I feel like that you know what I mean? Like the knowledge is power. We've said, right, that it always fails because the person that finds it immediately tells people about it or something. And in this case, the person that found it had no choice but to tell everyone about it. But he was going to take this bottle and be like, I'm not going to show you what's in here. I'm not going to read it to you. I'm just going to take it. And you just know that I found a bottle in the well. Like,
the thing is,
what was this?
I guess there's also there is a chance in that situation where you could have found it by yourself, but you're absolutely right. You really did not make this in a situation where they could find it alone. Like when they had that sit out bench and it was under the bench, at least then you're alone. But then you also, it got missed, you know, and then we had to put it in place some other way.
Yeah.
I don't know. They got to find a better way of doing that.
How was it found last year or last season rather?
I don't remember.
I honestly thought it was going to be under the bench when Noelle sat out of the, that first.
Well, no, because I know like the in season 42 they did it in a different way. Because I remember us talking about it, like, oh, like they messed it up the first time trying to hide it in the bench and no one found it, so they did it better this season.
But I feel like we also talked about like after that, anybody that's on this show that loves the show is going to search the bench every single time. So that wouldn't have happened again, like.
Yeah, maybe it was found like as an idol or like just hidden advantage and just found it almost like a beware.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But all right, we have really digressed. Noelle gives Janine advice on how to proceed socially after a burn, like being left out of the vote. I said, I love everyone trying to comfort Janine. Why? Who cares?
Right.
Dwight proposing a 6 to Owen. Yeah, I don't know who the sixth person was. We kept rewinding. Dwight proposes the 6 to Owen. Right? So he says Janine, Sammy, Noelle. I don't know who the sixth person was supposed to be. Unnamed. Sorry. Owen concerned about trusting Gabler. Right. Seeing him as a loose cannon. Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about this. Because I don't know why they would think that Gabler's a loose cannon. I don't think that he's unjustified for wanting Ellie out. Like, they keep saying that that's so crazy. That's so crazy. Oh, we're supposed to be Baka strong. And it's like, well, how strong can Baka be if you're already trying to move against me? Like,
right.
And you did that on day 3.
I mean, I wouldn't say that was the first example of him being a loose cannon. He's all over the place.
Right, but did you think that action was his loose cannon defining moment? Like, there were other things I felt were looser. Like, this was pretty straightforward. You went through my shit and tried to tell me my idol was no good because you wanted me to believe I could go home. That's crazy. Like, of course I can't work with you. You've already
and it makes sense. Yeah, it really makes sense too, because now Gabler has made the merge, was on the team that is safe. It's like, hell yeah, I finally now have a chance to work with other people. This person can't be trusted because they went through my bag. They tried to like lie to me and try to convince me that my idol that could save my life in the game if I needed it was no good anymore.
Right.
Like, it's like, if they're going to do this to me when we started in the same tribe together, what do you think we're going to do now? They're going to do now when all the tribes are mixed together.
Right. Come on. And now Gabler is a loose cannon. I mean, he is. I just don't think that this action falls under that column.
I agree.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me. So this challenge is really fun, huh? We paired
This
off.
really was.
We paired off, and we couldn't decide who should be where. So we painted some rocks and we drew them, and that's how our pairs were decided. So this challenge saw Owen and Gabler working together and doing quite well, might I add.
Yeah.
Cody and Dwight, they were in it. Then we had Noelle and Sammy, Ryan and James, Carla and Cassidy, and Jesse and Janine. Now this challenge was really wild. I do want to know, does anyone know anything about like prosthetics and like things like that?
Probably not enough for what you're about to ask me.
Like, I'm just curious as to, because I have seen now Noelle appear with like almost as like a foot with like a sneaker on it, right? And then we have like the hook kind of looking thing. So like I wonder why she chooses what for what. Because like when I look at some of these cargo net things, and she always has the hook, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like, but again, what do I know? But I feel like the foot would give you just a little bit more, I don't know, like available space. I don't know, what do you call that?
I think
I understand.
Real
what
estate
you're saying.
there,
yeah.
And I'm just wondering, like, I wonder why she always shoots, because every physical challenge she seems to go with that.
I think that the physical one, right? You mean with like that, the more of like the hook,
like the hook,
right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the prosthetic that like a lot of athletes like with one leg will use that one. I see that like when they're running track and things like that. Like I feel like the one that has like the foot at the bottom is more of just like when she's walking around at camp and stuff like that. But I feel like that other one is more for like athletic and like physical settings and stuff like that. Yeah, like it's Matt says here, I'm pretty sure the hook one is meant for running.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. I think that's like built
it's
for
interesting. And I've seen that on athletes, but like I never ever gave it that much thought as to like why you would choose one or the other. Only because of this, and because now we've seen it twice. That's all. Yeah.
And I feel like like with Noelle too, like she's such like a badass. Like there's been a couple of times that like we've seen these nets or like these ropes or whatever, and it's like this has to be like tough for her.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I've thought about that, but like she like, man, there's absolutely no quit in Noelle whatsoever.
No.
Like it is amazing.
But see, that's actually where I was going with this. So this challenge now being in 3 stages, the first one being having to go through this twisted net through this mud. That's what made me think of it, because obviously, her leg came off, and then it's like, did the hook get stuck maybe in like one of like the holes in the net?
I thought that's what happened.
Yeah, and it's like, oh gosh.
Jeff made a comment that she had actually taken it off. I think it was giving her issues with like when she was trying to spin and like untangle the net. I think that the hook was probably getting caught and giving her some issues. Jeff made a comment that she had actually like taken it off herself and was like, "Oh my god, amazing!" Like Jeff was making comments like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just interesting. But yeah, so that was Act 1, right? Act 1 was getting through the twisted net. They had to dig up some planks and then plant their flag back at the mat. First 4 to get through go to Act 2. The 2 that don't make it, they're eliminated. So the eliminated parties include Noelle and Sammy, and Jesse and Janine. And Noelle's exit here was really rather sad.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah, because she was so apologetic and like, it was a tough watch.
I loved everybody's response, just kind of being so happy for, like because she is such a badass. Like she's like a warrior. And just like the fact that even after everyone was kind of helping her out, and even Sammy was like, I'm just happy that you gave so much effort, like that you were amazing. And the fact that she just like couldn't get over the fact that like she had let a teammate down. She was like, if I was playing by myself right now in this competition, I wouldn't even care. But the fact that like I had a partner who was relying on me and I couldn't get it done, like that's what bothers me more than anything else.
Right.
It's just like in that moment, like working so hard, and just like, and not even being pissed that you lost, just being pissed that because you lost, your teammate also lost. It's like that's the biggest thing that you're thinking about right now. Like Noelle's awesome.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we stand. Matt says, "Do you think you could have completed that challenge?" See, not if I was going to be eliminated for not making it. If there was no time restraint, I'd like to believe I could have, muddled my way through. I didn't do it on purpose.
I think for me it would have been all luck because, like, getting into that net, right? Like, I wouldn't know which way to start turning to, like, So I feel like if I happened to go the right way, if I happened to like start turning the right way and I saw that it was getting looser and I was going to be able to get out, I'd be like, okay, I got this. But if the second it starts getting tighter, I'd be like, I'm never getting out of this net.
Yes, I live here now. This is my home.
This is where I'm going to die. All luck.
I just see myself getting like very winded and then like just stopping for a while. Like,
right. And then you get more and more mud in your face.
Oh yeah. Really, really miserable. It's just cruel.
Yeah.
Like the mud was unnecessary. The twisted net was bad enough. Sand would have been fine. Just even just some water. Water. It didn't have to be mud. So anyway, after that, they had to race up a cargo net and go across a rope bridge using those planks that they had dug up, right? 3 planks. Both players had to cross with all 3. And then walk down to the mat.
Go
really down hard. The wall to the mat. Can you read my own handwriting? And you need to have top 2 teams will be moving on to the next stage. This was a tough watch. Okay. First of all, couldn't even believe the balancing needed for this wood. Okay. When they were telling us what this is going to be, I didn't even see that as a factor. All right. Very challenging. To see Carla blow out.
Right at the end, too.
2 planks left.
Yeah. So close.
I screamed. Yeah. My heart hurt. That was really too bad.
I love Carla, by the way. I like her more and more every episode.
Me too. Yeah, I wasn't big on Carla early on. I really didn't
so confident she was your winner pick.
She really could have been. But I remember being irritated with her with that whole idol thing. Oh, should I take her? Should I not? I don't want to go back. And it's like, and like I don't know, like I kind of found her like to be a bit of an irritant. But I'm getting bigger on her. Starting to stand. But she did have a funny moment here where Jeff is like, oh, some players fell, and then the editing had her like, throwing the wood plank open from like in the hole. Yeah, it's just a funny moment. It's worth a rewatch. Once we got to the end, the teams were no more, right? So we had 4 people left. They had to hold 25% of their body weight in sand in buckets. Okay. As you drop your buckets, the tile will break. Last one to not drop their bucket, last one standing, would win the crown. And get
What's happening right now?
They win immunity. Yeah.
Dastardly Dan. A name change.
Formerly known as Kite Man. This reminds me, I have to watch the episode. Bro, what are you doing?
Why are you here?
We're almost a week out. Like, come on, what's going on? Yeah, Matt. He said the first promo this season had a really villainous line from her, being Carla. And I thought she was going to be too much, but Carla is a whole gem. Yeah, she is.
She really is. I love Carla.
We like her. Noelle had a rough go. Lost her leg. We did that. Gabler apparently set a new record. He set a new record for this challenge. Okay. So don't count out Gabler. Okay, come on now. We're starting to stand.
Yeah. Every time that Gabler was like, this minute is dedicated to this person, which, like, listen, some of those were nice. Some of those were nice. I'm not gonna.
They were a lot of them were nice. It was just
a lot of what he was saying was but like you could just, I feel like you could just feel it every time Gabler was like, this minute is for this person. Cody was just sitting there like, like, shut up.
And do you think that was part of his strategy?
I think it could have been get into his head a little bit.
Yeah,
Get
to
into
really
Cody's
just
head.
wear him down.
Meanwhile, Cody's sitting there like, this minute is for me. Please shut up.
Yeah.
Matt.
I want that cut completely out of context. No matter how. I know. It's strange. Sorry. That's how I had it written. I don't know why I put it there. Oh. That's why. Because I write out the rules as Jeff tells us. Right? So my first note now is when it actually started, you see. So that's why it's out of order. All right. Leave me alone. Now,
leave me alone.
As far as Gabler is setting a new record for this, I feel like in Australian Survivor, like this would have gone a little bit differently. Like, I feel like people have lasted longer and like harder things, right? Like, I was a little surprised it was only 25 minutes.
I was surprised too that this was only 25 minutes. Like they both technically
low.
Right. Like they both technically broke the record, and it seemed like they broke it very easily. And obviously Gabler has the official record as the winner of the comp, but like the fact that both of them went so much longer than 25 minutes, I was like,
I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
I totally not that agree. I think that I could do 25 minutes. I couldn't do that. Like I'm not saying that I think it's like low because like I could do better. I'm not. That's not. No, I just feel like people have been a little bit more impressive than that. I thought. That's all. That's all.
Anyway, Matt says, I hated every second of Gabler's knockoff Oscars speech.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
If I can do it, then you can do it. Audition today. And I was like, they are going to get a lot of mileage out of this one. Yeah. When it's time to start casting again, you're going to see that again. That was not the last time you saw that. Yeah. So here's the point where the boys found this bottle in the water well that had, the knowledge is power advantage in there. And it was James, Sammy, Owen, and Dwight. I'm sorry, this is car. Do you hear that? I'm sorry.
Hear what?
Oh, good. You don't hear that. There's like
now that you said something, I hear something, but it really isn't.
Shoot.
Yeah, I would have noticed.
Honestly, even now hearing it, it still is not probably as bad as you think it is.
It's that busted car that guy has outside.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing at 10:34 at this thing? But anyway, so they all found it together. Now, I don't understand why James had to take it. Why was it any more James's than anyone else's? Like
to take the
advantage, yeah, because like he was clearly iffy on it, and he said, "Oh, does anyone else want it?" And everyone else said no. But
do you mean that you don't know why he had to take the advantage or to take the bottle out of the well?
Well, I guess both.
Because this really was all on James, if you think about it, because he took the bottle out of it.
Here.
Yeah, so James took the bottle out. He read it to everybody. So they knew that from reading this message in the bottle that this advantage, whatever it was underneath the shelter. That's where it was being kept. And they all talked about it. Does anybody want it? Should we take it? Should we look at it? Blah, blah, blah. And James was the one that was like, well, if let's not even worry about it. Let's not even think about it until after tribal. That's what he said. But then in like the very next cut in the next confessional, James was like, yeah, I said I wasn't going to look at it until after tribal, but this is Survivor, so screw it. Like, I'm just going to go get it right now. And he just went and got it. And he just took the advantage.
Yes, but I also felt like there was a moment there where like they were discussing who should be getting this advantage, and it was almost like James was saying, "Oh, does anyone else want it?" All right, well, I won't go. I won't get it until after tribal. But like they were all basically saying they weren't going to get, or did I just misinterpret that?
I don't know. It seemed to me like I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. But it seemed to me like the way they were talking about it was that like, all right, we all know it's there. Let's not think about it or talk about it now until tribal or after tribal. And then James after that was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to take it. That's what it seemed like to me.
So I took
could be
it the
wrong,
complete other way. Yeah, I took it totally differently. What was your stance, Gina? How did you interpret this?
I thought the same. I thought he just kind of went back for it later.
Oh, all right. I stand alone. That's fine. So James has it, and he tells everyone, "I have it. I have knowledge is power. Now trust me." And they don't. They tell each other. Everyone tells everyone.
I also thought was very weird too. It's like, James, why tell everyone I'm not going to go get it until after tribal, and then you immediately get it, and then tell everyone that you got it.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, so that everybody that you just told that you're not going to go get it until tribal knows that you're a liar. Like, I don't. What are you doing, man?
I don't know what it is about this cast that they're so free with telling everybody everything.
They won't tell everybody the business,
right?
I don't think a single person has kept a secret on this cast.
No, not one.
It's very odd. Very odd.
Or maybe Carla.
Yeah. Carla, I think you're right, is the only one that has kept a secret. Because even Owen, because we talked about this before, Owen was running through who has what idol, who has what advantage, and he was like, but when it came to Coco's idol with the bracelet, he said he was like,
still.
Yeah, he was like, somebody's got an idol for Coco, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
And then so she's been very good about
she's the only one. So obviously people want James because they know that he has this advantage. Now Jesse was campaigning to get Noelle out. And when he presented this to Mr. Cody, Cody said, well, how about Dwight instead? Dwight is like, her bestie or whatever, kind of weakens her in a way. And Jesse kind of goes for it, says, whatever. Dwight is fine because his connection to her. Now, what did you think about this in terms of his game? Like, do we think that means that he's too much of a follower, that he's not really going to be like standing up for what he actually wants to do? Or is it actually a good game move for him, like to get Dwight out instead of Noelle?
For Jesse's game, right?
Yeah, for Jesse's game, because he flopped so quick, and I wouldn't have linked Noelle and Dwight that close that they're that this is not like Ellie and Janine.
I wouldn't have necessarily linked them that quickly either, and I'm like disappointed because I don't want Jesse to be even looking at Noelle at all. First of all, that's my first thing.
Yeah.
But then the other thing,
I was like, keep her name out of your mouth, everybody.
Yes,
like,
right.
you're right, but don't talk about her.
And then, but I did right. I did think that it was pretty weak though on Jesse's part to be like, because he even said it in his confessional. He was like, yeah, so Cody wants to go for Dwight. That's not really what I want to do, but like, whatever.
And I was like, what?
What?
Yeah, and that's when I was like, is this good? I'm like, I don't know. It kind of makes me think that you could be an earlier boot than I would have thought.
Right.
If you're playing like that. Yeah. Okay. So we already talked about the advantage swapping.
And that's also, can I say also that I don't understand why Jesse, because at some point Jesse and Cody were both filled in that like people were throwing Cody's name out and stuff like that, right? Like why wouldn't she want to go after the other tribes first now? Like Vesey, I feel like, they did pretty well before the merge. Like they didn't do too bad. And I felt like they had a fairly solid group. It just seems weird to me that Jesse and Cody would be throwing Noelle's name out there and then like being like, no, not Noelle, Dwight. I just thought that it was weird. For what reason would you go after Dwight or Noelle? It's like if somebody else is throwing out like other people's names and other tribes,
why would you go there? You guys have already been working together, and you're the smallest, aren't they? Like they're the only four,
right? Like they had a rough go in the beginning, and Coco had 6 players for at least a few weeks or whatever, and then Baka had the 5, the Baka 5, stay Baka strong, the Baka 5, and Vessi was they were stuck at 4 for a while, but then they started winning some competitions and stuff, and I just thought it was weird that they decided to let's go after each other,
right?
When there's all these other names out there that we could go after. I don't know.
No, you're right. I didn't even think of that. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Matt says that, Jesse said something about how he wanted to let Cody make a decision so he doesn't come off controlling.
Interesting.
I guess. It's just such a quick fold. That's all.
Yeah, like it wasn't even, I mean, maybe it was the editing, but it didn't look like it was even a conversation. Like he just gave an alternative and he was like, yeah, all right.
I was like,
right.
I was like, little too easy.
Right, because I could understand why you don't want to come off as too controlling, but at what cost? Because then you're gonna what is the cost now? Sending out a number that could be good for your game, this week, next week, the following week. So you're potentially risking a number just to make it look like you weren't the one making the decision. I don't know. It just seems weird.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and no discussion at all. I still want people to think that I have an opinion. I'm not just a sheep. The only other note I had is, why is Janine always around ants? Did you see in her confessional that tree trunk was dancing?
Was dancing? I didn't notice it in this one.
Oh my gosh, full of ants. And this is right on the heels of her finding that other advantage.
That one I remember.
Covered in ants. The ants are on her arm and she just keeps... Oh my God. Just the very thought of it. I can't even stand it. And then her entire confessional, in this episode, she's sitting in front of this thing and the
I did not notice
is moving. And I'm like, what is with this girl? Whatever. Janine and her ants.
Her milkshake brings all the ants to the yard.
Oh, you really... I saw the wheels turn in. You were really looking for that one.
Milkshake Monwan Mondays.
No.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Good
man.
times. Good times. Yeah, we're back.
Oh,
we're back.
I love saying dumb things. That's
why we're all here. That's why we gathered here. Okay. That's all I have for Survivor. Dwight went home. Whatever. I think these tribals suck, by the way.
They've been pretty lame.
Yeah, really lame. Nothing's going on. I'm so sick of people talking about the experience. Do you know what I mean? Everyone just keeps saying, oh my gosh. Yeah, Matt, in a minute. We're going to have a lot of fun getting into that. Gina will love every minute.
Oh no.
But I feel like these tribals are a little whack, because they all people do is say Jeff, it's you don't know if this person's gonna do this, and it's and this person's gonna do that, and it's really crazy. I'm on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm an 8, and it's shut up, talk about what's going on.
Right, it's crazy things like this are happening now. Why are we talking about hypothetical things that could happen?
Yes, we're talking about hypothetical things. We're talking about so what's it like when people are what's it like right after a challenge? I guess everything's buzzing around Tribe. Huh? Oh yeah,
nobody cares.
It's exactly. I don't care. I watched that. Let's go. I want to get into things. Jonathan LaPaglia would have none of it. Okay.
Yo, Jonathan LaPaglia.
He is asking you direct questions.
Direct questions.
What did you think when John fucked up the puzzle? And you'd be oh yeah, because didn't you this and didn't blah blah blah. Well, what do you think about this? And it's he gets really down to the nitty gritty. All right. You've seen blindsides go wrong because of the intense questioning, because it clues people in.
Yeah.
Right.
This crap is so boring.
And you know what? And you know what's so funny about this too, right? Is that not only does Jonathan just run these tribals, I think so much better, but they're twice the length of any tribal we get on a US Survivor season. So they're so much longer, but you want them to be longer. It's like with
Once
Jeff.
Yeah. Once you
with
get
Jeff,
used
like
to
they
it, you
get
can't
there,
go back.
right? And meanwhile, with Jeff, like they'll talk for like 2 minutes, and then I'm like, all right, can we just vote already? We're not
Right.
talking about
It's
anything.
so funny too. It's like I remember us watching, like when none of us had really watched Survivor yet, watching 41 and being like, these tribals are crazy. This is so exciting. And now we're like, stupid tribals.
Yeah. Because now that I'm so, I want to say well versed, but so much more versed in Australian Survivor, which starts in January, by the way, which we're going to have to discuss.
Such a good show.
Because I was looking forward to a month off. So there is that. We do have a mole announcement, but it's not a real announcement because we didn't decide, but I thought we could decide on air.
Sure.
But what we need to get into here is oh wait, hold on. Matt says Dwight had one of the least visible edits of New Era pre-mergers. He was robbed production-wise and game-wise. I need him back for a second chance. I thought we saw a lot.
I like Dwight. I like Dwight.
He can come back. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be down.
And
he's like a super fan too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to start a hashtag or anything, but you know, I'd welcome him back. You know, sure. So you know, because Matt is a newer friend of the pod. You know, he would like to know. I still don't know what Mon Wan means, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. So Mon Wan. So Mon Wan was a twist in Celebrity Big Brother 3.
Flop.
Absolutely not a flop.
It was not a flop.
I also have to say, I think it's honestly ridiculous that Gina does not like these ridiculous, stupid things that Big Brother gives us. Like, Gina, you are the one that introduced Kyle, who introduced me to Big Brother. You know what this show is about and the stupidity that it brings. Like, the fact that you can't just like embrace the Mon Wan stupidness is very disappointing.
No, it's just Mon Wan. Listen, Mon Wan. Justice for Mon Wan.
Oh my god!
I could really make a big pitch for this. Are you ready for this?
Okay,
I'm so ready for this.
About what I think about Mon Wan. Okay, so what Mon Wan was, he was a designer. Okay, because obviously Celebrity Big Brother, they like to try to be fancy with the celebrities, and it's always something grand is always the theme, and so you had this fancy designer in the Big Brother franchise, like Mon Wan, and that was the label on the bag, and you had to pass the bag around, and it was like hot potato almost, like, you know, John had to pass to Gina, and then Gina had to pass to whoever ended up with the bag at the end, was now safe. Okay, and then they had to wear the bag as a hat, all right, because that was the designer's twist, you know, the Mon Wan hat. Now, once we got to eviction night, you flip off the label that said Mon Wan and flip it upside down, and then it said Nom Now. Okay, and now you had to repass the bag around, and whoever ended up with the bag was now a knob. Okay. And like, yeah, it is. It's really, really wild. And it's really wild. And it's like, and here's where the justice for Mon Wan really comes into play, because one of the most exciting things, and I don't remember exactly how this went in Big Brother Canada, but we saw a more perfected version of this in their chain of safety. Yes. Right. And I don't remember the exact terms of it because we didn't really drill into it. But now, as I'm talking about Mon Wan was the predecessor for that twist. That Canada did better. I will say, I do think it was better.
Always do.
But that is where Mon Wan started that trend. Okay. That's the one thing that BBUS gave to the franchise. Okay. Now, the chain of safety, because that was basically the same thing, but it was like on an eviction night, wasn't it?
Something like
and
that,
and like you had to like pick one person, and whoever got to the end ended up now being safe or something like that. But So justice for Monwan, unless there was a previous season of Big Brother Canada that did this. Now that could be, we are Big
I
Brother
don't know.
fan baby.
But you're not even saying, like, the reason why it has become a thing on our podcast is because every time that they would say the word Monwan on Big Brother, there was some like glittery thing and some like sound effect of like this like epic like ooh Monwan, and like they
But
just like
that's the epitome of Big Brother. It's
Right.
like that is what Big Brother is.
You are spelling that right, Matt. It is. That's Monwan. Yeah, Monwan. It is like a fucked up stage chain. Yep. It's exactly what it is. And Gina just hates it. She hates it so much. And since we kept Mondays on the pod, we just want to we like the alliteration, Monwan Monday.
Hell yeah.
It's just a way to, just stick
they
it
were
in
very
there.
upset when I said the words Mole Monday. That was unacceptable. That I was trying to rebrand.
Yeah, unacceptable. They certainly did it once.
I mean, if you want to call it Monwan Mole Monday, I'd be okay with that.
That's fine.
That's not what it was.
Sure it is. It's always Monwan Monday. If it happens to be a Monwan Monday when we're talking about the mole, then it's Monwan Mole Monday. But every Monday is Monwan Monday.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. So speaking of Mole, we chatted with Joy, the other day.
The wonderful
We did.
Joy.
We did. The wonderful. You're always fabulous. Yeah.
I'm so sad I missed it.
Yeah. And we had a couple of yucks. When are we gonna share this with people?
So
I had such a crazy weekend.
Yes, I've been going through the recording that we have, and I think I'd like to announce it and post about it tomorrow on social media, and then drop it and post it Wednesday.
Oh,
that's what I'm planning.
All right, there it is.
You heard it here first, kids.
How's the audio? We had a rough go.
There were some rough moments. Yeah. It'll be all right.
I think still as a whole, though, we had a lot of fun.
Oh,
I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah. It was a really good time. Yeah. Certainly brightened my day.
Oh yeah,
and that's that.
Yeah, the plan is to I want to post about it tomorrow, like I said, and then I don't know what time exactly yet on Wednesday, but the plan is to have it scheduled for Wednesday night to stream.
Okay. Got some Joy.
So yeah, Joy Schweitzer.
What is that?
It's a song. What do you mean, what is that?
What's the song?
Sing it for us, Gina.
No, I don't want to. Now I'm embarrassed.
You're the one that knows the
song. Come on, that's what brought us together.
No, I can't.
All right. Well, I'll Google it. Thanks for sharing. So Wednesday we'll share Joy with the world. Oh.
Joy to the world.
There you go. You're welcome. You can use that. You can use that if you'd like.
You can use that.
Freebie. That'll be on Wednesday, whatever time John decides. Maybe we'll live tweet during it. No, I don't want to commit to that. We'll talk about that offline. No. And then Thursday at 9:30, we have the challenge 38. Right, Giants. Okay. And that will be the final stream. That is only challenge 38. Because after that, because after that, we begin coverage on the Challenge Australia.
Oh man.
Which I'm really excited about. That starts that following Monday. Okay, so you've got a couple of days, to catch up and watch with us. All right, it's gonna be on Channel 10. Use their 10 Play app. Get your VPNs in order. All right.
I gotta relearn how to do
One
the
it.
VPN thing. I
Yes.
got a new computer. I don't have it on here no more.
Yeah. Everybody's got to get their lives in order.
I got to figure out the VPN again.
That's right. We're going down under. We're going down under. And I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. I'm excited to see this game played by completely different people. And I'm very excited to see a different host. I know we said this before, but as much as I love TJ, you know, no disrespect at all. I'm really excited just to see it a little different.
You know, that as we're talking about this too, it's making me think, do you think that Bryony will be involved in any hosting duties for the global challenge when it comes? Like, will TJ be just the one host, because he was obviously the host for Challenge USA? Bryony will be the host for Challenge Australia. I don't even know who the hosts are for Challenge UK or Argentina. You know what I mean? Right. But I mean, I wonder if all these hosts.
I have to assume they'll all be involved in some way.
Yeah, I would like for them to at least come in maybe for one episode, because I'd like to see them, especially because I'm going to watch them. I don't know that we'll cover them all. You know, we have to be honest, right? You know, we get tired. But I mean, like, we're definitely going to watch these. So, like, it would be nice to have them in there. But I really do want TJ to have primary.
Of course. Oh yeah.
Hosting duties. I mean, this is his show. But I am very excited to see what is it, Bryony.
Yeah,
Bryony.
That is correct. That is correct.
I'm excited to see what they do. Very excited. Yeah. So this Thursday will be the final only Challenge 38 stream, and then after that, we do 2.
Yeah.
Matt says, "Would you be down with rotating hosts?"
I don't know.
No.
You know, here's the thing. What if you had like rotating hosts, but like TJ was always still involved, maybe? Like whether he's there for the challenge, the daily challenge, or for the elimination. You know what I mean? So he's always in every episode, but then maybe there's a different host just for the global challenge. Like
I could accept. All right. Yes. I could accept that. You're right. I could accept if a stranger is doing the daily, but he does eliminations. Absolutely. And any other house visits, if we have some a purge, any other groundbreaking news, it all comes from him.
Like he's still clearly the host, like the main host, like the person that's controlling the game, but we also have these other hosts that are involved, you know, in some of the competitions or something.
Yeah, but not, and they should still be rotated. He gets in that too. So sometimes you get an episode that's just all TJ, but that never goes the other way. Okay.
I'd be down with that.
But we can't leave him out of all dailies. All right. Because you got to bring him back for his trivia at the very least.
And that's like your least favorite cop that he does because of his fake laugh.
I hate it. I hate it, but that's his thing. And like it's not. I enjoy hating it. Like, you know, just like I enjoy hating Julie Chen. Like,
right.
You know, come on, she's really. Once you see Arissa, you can't say that Julie's the best. You just can't anymore. Like, come on now.
Welcome to our show.
I am Julie Chen movies.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Come on. We love to rip on her. And no, I do not enjoy TJ's trivia, but it is his thing. And I do enjoy mocking it. But yeah. All right. Let's get out of here. I'm just rambling. Thanks so much for hanging out. You can find us on the social Strat Chat Pod or on the website at stratchatpod.com. And throw us a like, throw us a subscription. There's this community thing on the YouTube. Talk to me. I share things on there. I just talk to myself. Just talking to myself. You know, say hello. Hop in the conversation. You know, you never know what you might find. I don't know. Get me out of here. Thank you so much. Goodbye.